Hey, good evening. Well, if you're here in the UK, good evening. It's nearly 10 o'clock. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you might be on this blue orb. It's been a while since I went live with one of my little decolonising our mindset through generative listening games. I quite enjoy playing it. Maybe you'll enjoy playing it with me, who knows? But it's something that was created back in the beginning or middle of July. And it's a combination, just so you know, of Jane Adhead Grant's listening deck. Oh, need to change my settings so you can see that a bit clearer. Let me get rid of my blur. Virtual background, none. There we go. Now you get a lovely picture of my wife and I getting married on Bournemouth Beach, UK, on the June the 15th, 2019. But anyway, I digress. So, Jane Adhead Grant's listening deck and the Decolonial without modernity. Now the whole idea here is, right, me, you, pretty much every single human being on this planet has been conditioned since day dot, right? The only time we haven't been conditioned is pre being given a name, right? We miraculously come into this world as a ball of energy before we've got a name, then we're given a name, and from then on the socialization and the labeling continues to try and navigate the world as we have created it. And this is just a bit of a fun game to try and short circuit those patterns of behavior, to short circuit the stories, the beliefs that we hold on to being true, but that we know most of them, if not all of them, are actually outdated now and don't serve us, particularly as we continue to witness environmental and societal collapse. So here we go. I'm shuffling up the without modernity decolonial future cards. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one from each deck, right? So here we go, random pick. So the card says, can you see it there? How can we tap the possibilities that are viable but unintelligible or unimaginable within the dominant paradigm, brackets, what most people consider impossible? Long haul question. How can we tap the possibilities that are viable but unintelligible or unimaginable within the dominant paradigm? So we could look at that as within the current capitalist system, within the current education system, basically everything that we hold as true. How can we reimagine beyond that? How does that sit with you in this moment? And let's see what Jane's listening deck offers as a combination to go with that. So let's give that a shuffle. So it's almost like Brucey bonus, right? Be honest, like it's almost that much fun. I know it is. You don't have to pretend it's not. So here we go. Middle card. This one is factual listening. Listening for information, the facts, the figures, new knowledge, and clarifying your understanding of what you have heard. Now that, as a combination with that, is really, really interesting, right? Because on the one hand, we're being asked to look for factual information and data, and on the other hand, we're being asked to imagine beyond the current systems. So how I would try and put those two together is, how do we honour one another's perspective? So if I come to you with an idea that is completely left field, inverted commas, in fact, I've been called evangelical many, many times in the workplace because I am a big thinker, I am quite visionary, I can join the dots to something that doesn't exist yet. So people around me would say, you know, where are the facts? Give us some of the data to prove that what you're imagining makes sense. Whereas another way would be to say, hey, Gary, okay, you've got this big vision. You seem to be quite confident that it's possible. What are some of the steps that we can take to bring that to life? How can we co-create some steps that will make sense to us in order to try and move towards that emergent space? That's what pops up for me within that. They are quite conflicting to some extent, but I do see there being some possibility to help decolonize our thinking and our minds by imagining beyond the current systems and then looking for the steps together co-creatively to move towards that future. That's my take. What's your take? I'd love to hear. And again, I'm building these pairs. I'm taking a picture of them. I'm keeping them on my Google Drive. And at some point, I'll share them as part of future blog posts. Other writing will be inspired by them, I'm sure. And until next time, I hope you enjoyed this Decolonising Your Mindset with Generative Listening. And I'm not playing it down. This is serious stuff, right? You know, people are being murdered. People are moving off their lands. People are being literally ostracized just for trying to stay on the land that is their own ancestral lands. So I'm not making any light of the topic, but I am saying this is a really powerful tool. And if you're looking for someone that's very adept at holding space, such as I am, to facilitate some of these dialogues virtually and within your teams in person, let me know. I've got great people I can bring in, including Jane, including Joe Homstead, my good friend who we co-facilitate the human development spaces with. And of course, if you want to find out more from me, why not just sign up at hexochangenow.com, one word, hexochangenow.com. I only send out maximum 2 emails per week. It's more like 1 email every 2 weeks, to be honest. But I'm really, really clear on what I'm here to do. I'm here to serve as a space holder, thinking partner, international speaker, workshop facilitator, and human development space co-facilitator with Joe. So this is very clear. How do we allow that innate potential? How do we allow ourselves to think for ourselves without interruption? How do we create the conditions for people to explore, to challenge, to reimagine? Very much in line with that card that I shared from Decolonial Futures. We have to slow down. We have to truly connect beyond our job titles. We have to connect beyond the small talk and the thinness that we tend to connect with in the workplace. If you're ready for that conversation, I'd love to have a conversation with you. So until then, take care. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your evening, people. Take care.